Okay, so first of all, I want to apologise for if I start coughing or sniffing or sneezing or anything. I also apologise for my absolutely crazy ginger cat in the background, being a little weirdo. I've not been well at all this week. So we've got the poster draft. Oh, sorry, this is what I did on my blog in November. We've got the poster draft, which I actually really like. I'm not really a fan of the fonts and things like that, but we'll develop that. And then we've got the organised bonfire post 2, which I think is quite cool. It's just basically videos of the bonfire. The other one with GIFs and pictures and stuff. And then we've got how I'll do my saw shot. So the saw shot is basically the one where he goes crazy. And this is what I came up with. So yeah, very Saw-like. I've got what I did in week 10. This is the murderer costume. So yeah. We casted the main, casted the deputy, got the legalities about the victims, we casted the victims, although I might have to recast them because I haven't heard back from 2 of them. Then we've got the deputy costume without his badge. I still need to buy a badge. Then we've got the test trailer, which is basically half of the trailer that I've sort of shoved together. Got location recce's. This is for the poster and trailer and magazine and everything because I'm basically using the same places. I'm using Clarendon for all 3. Shooting schedule, this is basically when I might do it, just sort of things that it might happen on, but yeah, I don't think they actually ended up happening. Then we've got the feedback on Twitter, so we've got the feedback from a French person who was saying it could be a little bit less a little bit more burn and stuff. The other guy, this guy is Josh Stolberg. As you can see, he's verified. He wrote Jigsaw, he wrote Sorority Row, he directs quite a few things, Piranha 3D, that sort of thing. And he thought that the fonts weren't quite right, but he liked the poster. Then we got the Facebook feedback, which was mainly positive, but it was mainly we can't see that it's a face. Then we got a full animatic storyboard, but it was too long. Sorry. We've got the poster analysis, another poster analysis, animatic storyboard part 1. And we've got a new plan. So my plan is to help Ethan with his acting, because he's not as good as he possibly could be, and I've had experience at acting school. So yeah, we've got some issues with the storyboard. Then we've got a list of the final cast even. Then we've got logo interview evaluation. We've got poster interview, logo interview, week 11 what I did. We've got the main character's costume. We've got the trailer feedback, which was mainly good. And we caught the genre. Seems like it's going to be a psychological type of film. So, yeah, that was good. Then we've got the character profile for the good main person, character profile for the detective, budget, the money spent so far in the budget, weather checks, editing software, sort of comparing them and saying which I'm going to use. So we've got Movavi, Premiere Pro, Final Cut, After Effects, and what I'll use. Then we've got the history of horror, which just sort of gives me a backstory on the horror genre. It was a little documentary on BBC4 with Mark Gatiss. So we had sort of Dracula and Frankenstein, the old 1930s and 40s. And then we had sort of the 60s and 70s and 80s there. And then here we had like the 90s to sort of present day. And I'm sort of taking genre conventions from all three of these, because it's got the darkness, it's got the low-key lighting, it's got the creepy things, the gore, but then it's got the blood, it's got the sort of massacring of people, and it's also got the sort of psychological element of that. And I actually think it ties into present day, because a lot of horror films tend to take influence of what's going on in society at the time, and then they sort of wrap that around the story, and it makes it a bit scarier. And I think in this day and age, with mental health becoming a bit more of an issue, not as taboo, I think that mental health is actually quite a scary thing in today's society, because we're not really sure how to approach it. It's something a lot of people have, and it's a scary thing to go through. So, yeah, I think it's quite up to date. We've got the animatic storyboard number 2, so it's a bit shorter. I cut like a minute out. Then we've got a list of sound effects, so we'll just wait for that to load. We've got the Wednesday plan, which seems to not be anything. Oh no, the sound effect experiment, which I didn't actually end up doing. We've got the poster interview, evaluation, trailer script. So here are the sound effects. We've got all of these. There we go. And then we've got the trailer the script, sorry. So it starts off with the front, and then I don't know how to change page. Oh, we scroll. So, whoop. Oh dear. You fell. Right. So we've got everything that goes on, the rooms, everything like that. We've got things like that. We've got the title screens, we've got the logos, and then we've got the speech in the middle, and that sort of thing. That was the cat. We've got the shot list for the trailer. We've got poster shoot props that we're going to need. We've got the magazine shoot props. We've got magazine drawn drafts there. We've got the magazine name decided, Scream Magazine, although I need to update that because because of the font I used the same as Scream, the film, so it might be copyrighted, so I'll have to change it to Screamer, which I also like. There's some ideas. We've got character profile for the chief, character profile for the bad guy, case file prop research, so this is basically what's in a case file, what it consists of, that sort of thing. Then I made my masthead for the poster. I put them on Facebook, and that's they're some of the ones that I came up with. And then we've got the prosthetic interviews evaluated, questions evaluated, we've got the prosthetic interviews, we've got the poster tagline. So I said that I don't really think it'll be suitable because I think it'll give away the story, but I have one for if the audience thinks that they want one, saying sometimes you can't escape your past. And we've got logo interview questions evaluation, poster interview questions evaluation, magazine masthead interview 1, working around college. So college don't open late most days, but I have to work around the dates that they're doing. Now I can't work around Thursday the 7th of December because my people haven't got back to me, and it's getting a bit late because it's 2 days from now, so yeah. Then we've got Wednesday the 13th of December I might do, so there you go. And we've got the victims contacted, got checklists, all of them. Oh no, some more checklists. Then we've got the deputy update. So I was going to try and do a little beard on him, but as you can see in a minute, it doesn't really go very well. We've got poster shot list. We've got green screen update. So the technician is off sick, but he'll be back in tomorrow, and I'll be able to do stuff. But then I was ill, so there we go. That's fun. And we've got sound effects ideas, what I could use to make them. Got masthead survey responses. We've got a case file prop update. So that's like how I'd done at the minute. And then we've got Masthead Interview 2, all of them that I could find, checklists and things. And then we've got an update so far, so this is what the poster is so far. We've got the magazine so far and the trailer so far. Then we've got the magazine Masthead Interview questions, magazine Masthead problems, so that's about the font and the copyright. We've got Masthead Interview 1 evaluation with David. We've got the final case file there, well, the case report anyway. We've got an actor release form there, risk assessment for my house. We've got a risk assessment for Clarendon. We've got a risk assessment, I think, is the next one. Oh no, we've got Facebook feedback fonts. So feedback on the fonts that I tried a couple of different fonts for the poster. And the feedback was I'll use that for the title, that for the makers of, which is actually the same font, and that for the sort of people who have done it. So there you go. So yeah, that's just telling you that I've put the fonts on. This is Stephen's reply. He's not available Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays, so he can't make arrangements for December for this Thursday. And he hasn't got back to me about the 13th yet. Then we've got the poster fonts trial. I actually think this is going backwards for some reason. It's a bit weird, but there you go. That's sort of what I put on. We've got the mastheads on Facebook. We've got masthead logo. We've got the production schedule there. We've got the beard trial, which was unsuccessful. We've got Grace's reply. So yeah, she was free on the 7th, but yeah, I need to check about the 13th with her. We've got Masthead 2 interview analysis, and that is all I did in November, sorry.